Some were Normans, some come from England, some come from Wales, some come from Scotland. You might I said there was another island called Scotia, what? Minor. Well, the people who were in this land called this land Scotia Major. And some of them left here and went over to the island of Scotland during the 1st and 2nd century. And what did they call the island that they went to? Scotia Minor. So it's very important to know these things. A lot of people don't know these things. How many of you big people know this? You see that they're all sitting here on the don't know a thing. So they take a cane colour. Yes. Well, where did they come from? From Germany, from France, from Iceland, from Norway, and they all come to this coast here. And what do you think they did when they got here? Did they marry women? No, they didn't. Well, what do you think they did? Listen. They cut some of the trees down. Not only that, they cut some of the trees down, but they took some of the women away captive. Took them back to their own country. Any farmers in here today? You know what they did in the farmers in those days? They took their sheep and their cattle and took their hens and their pigs and kept them. And if they didn't like you, they put you to the sword. But there was one very, very important visitor who come to this land who made a great difference, made a bigger difference than anybody else, and I want to introduce you to him. He's Angus. He's Angus McCord. Go up there and make yourself welcome to them people up there. You see that up there, something there in the middle? Give her a good shout. What did they call this man here? Angus who? Angus McCord. Don't be standing up with them. You know, you see these boys have to keep it right. But they called this man Angus McCord. And he was one of the greatest people that ever come to this island. He come from Scotia or Scotia Minor. And he come to this land here and he come over to rob. That's what he did do. You see, a lot of Scottish people, you call them Grahams and you call them Mahars. And some of them changed their name from Graham to Mahar. The same name is spelled backwards. And Graham means a cattle thief. And this man here come to this island and he started robbing up and down the coast. So he did. He started stealing cattle, sheep, goats, pigs, hens, and took away some of the women, took away some of the wee boys for slaves. And you know, he got to like a lot. And instead of going back home to where? Scotia Minor, he decided to what? Stay. And when he stayed, he bought himself a good house. He didn't like these old ram shacks that the people were living in. So he bought himself what kind of house? He bought himself a straw house. He bought himself better houses. And then he started to cut down the trees. What do you think he cut down the trees for? To make a cottage, yes. What else?
Fire.
He cut down the trees to make a fire. There's a girl there's got the head screwed on. I think I should give you a good present. So, no, hold on. This girl here gets a very good present. And she's getting a DVD. One that I acted in. I'm a famous actor, you know. And you know what she's going to do? She's going to take this home and she's going to play it to her daddy and mommy. And then she's going to bring it back here and they're going to bring on a big screen and they're going to let the whole lot of you see it. How's that? Is that alright? Yeah. Now, if they don't do this, you tell me and I'll come up and he'll come up.
What's your number?
My number's on that. Okay. Now, in case you're wondering what that is, that's a reenactment of the siege of Derry. that we did in Moneymore there 2 or 3 years ago. And there's a new song written on it, and very few people have ever heard it. So that's ours. If you bring it on there and let them see it. What? Oh, not at all. It's not. Scotland's a dream. What? Yes, you do. That's right. One is the song, and the other is the DVD. You're fine. She's very honest up here. Thank you very much for telling me that, but I knew that. Now, what did she say that was very important? To cut down the trees for what? Farming. So they started to keep pigs and sheep and cattle and a whole pile of things like that. Hey, isn't that wonderful? All them ones there and that side there got something, and the people on this side how to look at it. Stick out your tongue out and go. That's all right. You don't get carried away. But this man came over and he built a hut like this, and he cut down the trees, and he started to make fields. And he made this island here. What did they call him? What did they call him there? Pardon? Angus what? No, McCord. Angus McCord. That's what they called him. And he built a hut and started to love this land, and he started to stay in this land. And you know, the centuries went on, and more people from Scotland, minor, come over to this land, and soon they had set up places like Londonderry. Who's ever heard of Londonderry? Who's ever heard of Korea? Carrickfergus. So these people here built these towns and started setting up places, and the land started to prosper. And there was a pile of people down at this end of the land here, down around Kinsale and Cork and all, and they got sort of jealous of these boys up here. These boys have got all the money. Do you like rich people? No. I find them hard to take to, you know. When I hear they're getting 10,000 to furnish a wee house, maybe over in England or something, I just can't get it. I'm living bread and butter every day. Happy 18s. But you know, these people down here are kind of jealous of these boys here getting so much. So they gathered together a big army, and they marched up along here, and as they marched up along, what do you think the army did? Pardon? What is it?
Did they not give them the land?
No. They're in a different period, right? What? Yes, they gathered people up, and they made the army bigger, and they took cattle and the sheep, and they marched away up around here. And this was about the 15th century. About the 15th century. And they got up a certain length here, and the Queen of England started to get very, very, very worried. She says, you know the way they sat in big throne, and she sat in front, well, they sent over an army to defeat these people. They are taking my property and my people and killing them. And some of the lords and all over in England, they were thinking, I will send over an army. And then she sat and thought, well, she says, we'll not send over an army at all. Well, let them march all up round till they come to Korean. And when they come to Korean, there's a big river there in Korean. What do they call it? The River Bann. And she says, let them go on up round, and when they meet the Ulster-Scots, and this was in 1538 or so, round about that period. 1538, 1550, round about that period. And she says, when they meet the Ulster-Scots, something will happen to them. What do you think happened when they met this boy here?
They were scared.
They were more scared. Pardon? A whole lot of them were killed. They got a lot of light to get out of them, that's what they got. So, they had to flee the whole way back, and these Ulster-Scots boys chased them the whole way back. And you know, why did I tell you all this story here? This man here is one of the most important people in the history of Ireland. Because this man here, he's called a planter. But he's not really a planter at all. When he came to this land at the very beginning, what was it all covered with? Trees. 90% of the land and far more was covered in trees. And this man made this land what it was.